What's up, guys? It's Benny. Horrible, dark, and massive breaking news right now. 2 shooters in a coordinated attack have rained down terror on Florida State University, the largest university in all of Florida. Also a university right next to the state capitol and the governor's mansion, so the seat of power in the state. There are 5 dead. 2 gunmen opened fire. And there's something even worse that we were going to bring your attention to in just a moment. Something incredibly dark about who these attackers may be. At least 5 people dead in a horror mass shooting at Florida State University. Cops said 2 gunmen opened fire around midday in the campus student union. 1 suspect in custody, another has been killed by the police. 4 others are injured and at the hospital. Eyewitnesses said they saw a college-aged man exit the student union with a handgun. Another said they heard something like automatic gunfire, sickening footage all across social media. Many people have been injured. You can see it here. This is something that President Trump has been briefed on.
Much everybody, and I've been briefed on the Florida State University, Tallahassee active shooting. I guess it's an active shooter. Fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place. And we'll have more to say about it later.
So President Trump then briefed Kash Patel, saying that the FBI is monitoring the situation and has agents on the ground. Speaking of being on the ground, here's an arrest that's been happening. Could this be one of the assailants? Could this be one of the shooters? We're not sure. This individual is being arrested. There's also other footage of people in an ambulance being shackled. You see here the shackles being delivered to an ambulance to chain up someone. Reports are that a shooter has been hospitalized, effectively. Let's get to those reports. Here we go. Scripps News reporter says that several individuals are injured and are being loaded into ambulances. 1 man was shackled by law enforcement before being taken from the scene. You can see the footage here. Shackling an unknown individual in a stretcher. So according to reports, 1 individual dead, 1 of the shooters dead, and then 1 in custody. I mean, at least when you take them alive, you can try and figure out what the hell is going on here. A lot of footage from inside of the classrooms here. We're not going to show you anything that is particularly gory or gruesome, just a lot of chaos and cops running through the campus. And there is footage of some individuals that had been shot on campus and people casually filming them. We're not going to show you that. I think it's incredibly disrespectful and horrific, and it's starting to create quite a bit of buzz on campus because people are just walking with their Starbucks filming, and it's like goblin behavior, filming other students who'd been shot. Get ready for that to be a super cycle. Here we go. Kash Patel, my team, and I have been briefed on the tragic shooting in Florida State. FBI Jacksonville team is on the ground and assisting. We'll provide full support to the community. Please pray for the FSU community and prayers. It's nice that they are up and up quickly with this commentary. The FBI is on the scene at FSU. I am en route back to D.C. from our L.A. offices. We're getting updates on the situation. We will update you as we learn more, says Dan Bongino. 5 dead, 4 injured. It's awful. Trump briefed, and we're awaiting a press conference. Some of the people who are physically there doing tours at Florida State and so on. I'm a current student at Florida State University. This video I took while being escorted out by police. I was in class. The shooting started right next door to where we were. Thoughts and prayers. And you can see the police officers' valiant and brave response here. It's amazing. It's amazing because that's actually the only way to stop these things. Let's be perfectly realistic here. There are untold millions of firearms in this country. The repossession or acquisition of those firearms is impossible. If you were to do so, you would only ever remove firearms from law-abiding citizens. You would never take the firearms that are criminally owned, and that is just a reality of life. And so then what would happen next? Well, only the criminals would have guns, and individuals like this would be able to carry out their shootings with the knowledge that the entire country is a gun-free zone for good people. No, that is not how you stop things like this. The way you stop things like this is immediate law enforcement action. If you go through, and this is like dating myself, but if you go back to the Parkland shooting, I think it was 2018. The Parkland High School Memorial Douglas shooting, one of the more famous school shootings. And you look at the footage, and you look at everything that's available, you'll see that all of the no kid had to die. They had a school resource officer there that was who was armed to the teeth. The school resource officer cowered like a bitch and did nothing. School resource officer has been removed, of course. Now they're facing potential legal actions from the families because that's your job. Your job, the quickest and simplest way to stop this is an armed officer. Period. It's always been that way, and it'll always be that way. Our prayers are with FSU family and state law enforcement, says Ron DeSantis. Nephew is locked in his FSU classroom right now in a gun-free zone. Why exactly? CBS News is trying to pin the shooting on Florida's gun laws. Dumbasses. This is a gun-free zone. You see how that works? Attention to FSU students. Continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter. Follow this account, FSU Alerts. This is Byron Donalds. He's a FSU graduate. Here's the account. If you are interested in seeing the alert, here it is. The alert says Tallahassee emergency message. Continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter at the student union. Stay alert for more information. So the warning is still out there. That's still active. Another shooter hits close to home, Florida State University. My heart goes out. This is the brother of his sister died in Stoneman Douglas. Okay, so here we get to the very peculiar and strange circumstances around this shooting. Here's an individual who is he's running for mayor of Tallahassee, okay? And here's what he has to say. He has to say that the shooting was planned when there was going to be a large police demonstration there with potential firearm-like sound effects, flashbangs, and so on. And so people were actually caught off guard. Did the shooters actually know about this? Have a listen.
I'm going to clear some things up about the shooting at FSU today because I get notifications about anything that moves in the city. But here's where people were confused. At noon, 12 o'clock to about 8 o'clock tonight, TPD, Tallahassee Police Department, were supposed to be doing training exercises. They told us yesterday you're going to hear explosions, you're going to hear gunshots, sirens. You might see people running around with guns. 12:01 today was the first time we received a report of an active shooter on the FSU campus. People were confused, and a lot of people were like, oh, there's no shooter. You're just probably hearing that because they did it very close to FAMU and FSU, which I don't know why they would do something like that. The shooter most likely used that to delay FSU systems because, I'm pretty sure TPD told FSU, hey, there's no active shooter, there's no shots nearby, it's going to be us. I am so thankful that FSU decided and immediately sent out reports of an active shooter because it was close by. That saved lives. I hope and I pray you guys are okay. There's speculations of there being more than one shooter. So far, we only have 4 people injured, and I hope it stops there, and I hope those 4 can get better and
All right. So curious. Perhaps the shooters had inside knowledge of some type of police training that would have delayed the responses here. Popular area on FSU campus. Landis Green, personal belongings, shoes, laptops, and half-finished meals. What is to be said about a situation like this? We live in the real world. You can't live in the fake world. The real world, that there are evil people. Evil people have always existed to terrorize through violence and take power through violence. The only way to stop them is to cut them down with even greater violence. And that's been the way of the world forever. And that's actually literally how you save society. That's how you have a society. The threat of violence is the violence from good men against evil men. That's the underpinning of all society. The way you take over a society is for evil men to not be met with violence and to not have any force opposing them. So live in reality. It's the way it's always been, forever. The technology changes here and there. Not really though, right? And what you need to do is just be willing to fight evil. We do that a lot, ladies and gentlemen, here. And so the way you fight evil, the way we can fight evil is to say prayers, obviously, for these